It's that part of the show where we talk some betting. And this week, Rocky, we got a special guest. It's Dylan Leach.
Oh, it's good to be here again on the show. Good to have the whole family here, except Lynchy. He can't do it.
Yeah.
So
Boo.
out Leach. Oh no, out Lynch, in Leach,
Get it
I should
right.
say. Oh, God, having a mare.
You're frazzled after all that Richmond chat, aren't you?
That
You're having
crowd talk.
Good hard look at yourself.
I know. I really should have flown down for that game. I really let the club down.
Who have they got this week? Is Ned's got a
Port
market
Adelaide.
on overs, unders?
We got the team you built the foundations of.
Collingwood in a couple of weeks. When's Richmond's next home game? Can we get an overs unders market from the Neds?
Goodness
Actually,
me.
you don't have a home game for a long time.
No, we don't actually. Ryan.
St Kilda. St Kilda at Marvel.
Yeah,
Overs,
there we go.
unders. That'll be 12,000.
Absolute blockbuster.
It won't be
Anyway.
kids in free. That'll be everyone in free for that one. Ryan, should we less crowd talk and more footy stats and stuff? Because not only is this on the podcast, but our viewers on YouTube.
That's it, yeah.
This
We're
is-
live.
This is where the numbers are.
This is I'm told we learn and earn.
Sometimes.
segment.
We've only earned once this year, but
still earned.
we've spoken about your team, Dill, Richmond. We're going to talk about mine now. We actually haven't spoken Hawthorn at all this year, really, Rocky. So
Yep.
let's get into some Hawk talk. Big game Saturday, Arvo for the Hawks against Collingwood. 12 takes on 13th. You wouldn't often say that's a big game, but as you said at the start of the show, Dill, it feels like an elimination final. The Hawks aren't a real high-scoring team. We saw that last week in Launceston, and they have been one of the best teams, though, at limiting teams when it comes to inside 50 entries. They also rank towards the top of the league in limiting opponents around the clearances. The other side, the Pies are hampered through injuries, and they aren't scoring a lot of points either. Do you think we can get into some backing the under for this game? Would you steer the punters into that one?
Yeah, I reckon maybe at the MCG, I'd have to have a look at the weather. I think weather plays a big part sometimes in this as well, so I'll quickly do that. But they're certainly going better than I expected, Hawthorn. Favourites going in this game as well, which you'd be very surprised at, wouldn't you? You'd be
Only
leaning
slightly,
towards.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty tight. Going to be wet, so definitely go unders would be my backing.
Yeah, Riley, can I ask you as a Hawthorn supporter, even if you don't make the finals, would this be as satisfying a season you could have for a team that doesn't make the 8?
I wouldn't say
Potentially.
satisfying is the right word, Dill, because there's been
Pleasing.
but there's been some losses like that Port Adelaide loss that we should have won. It's been a frustrating season for a lot of reasons, and a lot of injuries have made it frustrating as well. I don't know if Sicily sees out the year, so I think our season sort of hinges on whether or not he plays the next 6 weeks or so, but it's definitely been a step in the right direction.
So
yeah.
you can appreciate the method to the madness that Sam Mitchell has sort of put in, and even putting Sam Mitchell there as coach and what has done.
I think what he did, especially last weekend, putting Sicily up forward is like a stroke of genius. No, coaches aren't game to do that in the middle of a game. So I think that could be something that we see going forward. I don't know if you agree with that, Rocky.
Yeah, I think so. Tick, like he's willing to have a crack, and the game was sort of on the line there a little bit. Fremantle had the domination, but just couldn't hit that scoreboard, and then throw Sicily forward, and he went bang, bang, kicks a couple, gets him over the line.
Makes a lot of sense. The other game we've got to preview is on Sunday afternoon up here in Brisbane. Lions taking on the Swans, top 4 clash. Swans back in the winner's circle last week with that big win over North. Lions are flying, as we've already touched on. Brisbane slight favourites in this one. That's probably mainly due to home field advantage. Worth noting that the last 5 games between the pair have all gone over the total. Which way are you leaning on this one?
I think it'll go over again, high scoring venue. I think the conditions should be pretty good. Sunday afternoon footy, high scoring venue, 21 degrees, sun shining. I'm leaning towards Brisbane. I think their form's been better than what Sydney, as silly as that sounds, Sydney have come off a couple of losses, had a good win against North Melbourne. It's an absolutely mouth-watering midfield matchup, though. I think potentially a grand final preview on the basis that I think Brisbane can still finish top 2 or 3, win that first final. Sydney have pretty much locked away top spot. So this is certainly game of the round. All eyes will be on it. Hopefully they fly the commentators up. It should be a Fox game deal. I'm sure you'll be rooting for the commentators to be live at the venue, but I think it's going to be an absolutely incredible game and leaning towards Brisbane.
How good's Lachie Neale at the moment?
3 straight, you're saying?
Oh, he's on the way. What was it? I see on the weekend he got 34 disposals, 13 clearances, 2 goals. Maybe a good one for multis because Lachie Neale's got 2+ goals, I think, the past 3 weeks.
Yep.
Or something along those lines. So That might be another one to consider.
Be good value too, I'd imagine.
Absolutely.
In the sevens, is he now? On the Brownlow?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Fourth line of betting.
Cripps is still the favourite, I think.
You won't be getting him at 13s like I did last year. But
Well, you could have got him at 15s last week.
I really should have. I really should. Wonderful hindsight bet. Wonderful hindsight.
On the Brownlow chat, he's not going to have a lot of people that take votes off him. Dunkley finds the footy and does a lot of stuff under packs, which umpires don't notice, where Neale has started to add that element of goal kicking and outside, and he's obviously gets noticed a lot by the umpires.
I heard the boys on First Crack saying that Lachie Neale's still very underappreciated. Do you think he is?
Yeah, I think so. I think internally he's certainly not. They understand how good of a player he is, and his one-touch ability. Players with the ability to take it cleanly with one touch and execute a handball to put someone else in space, so underrated in the game across everywhere, I think. He does that week in, week out.
He's just got to get a new goal song. That how to make gravy after a goal. Just,
Yeah.
come on, Lachie. Lift your game, mate. If you're watching this, because I know he loves the Snapshot, change your song.
Let's get into the multi. Last week was pretty woeful, not our best. I went all South Australian flavour. I took the Crows to win against St Kilda, and that was their only winning leg. I also had Port to win against the Suns. And Rocky, you had a couple of favourites that you normally like?
Yeah, well, the Bont 2+, that should have covered. He had a couple of shots.
That one he kicked was unreal.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get the second one over the line. And then Zach Merritt, I thought he'd feast on Melbourne. Didn't quite get that bit of attention. Finished early 20s. I had him for 30+. So wasn't good. And then Port Adelaide. So not ideal. One from four, but we can bounce back.
Yeah, a bit stiff. We're going a three-legger this week. I'm going to get us started. I've taken the Bombers to cover minus 10.5 against the Crows on what is going to be a Friday night absolute blockbuster, don't you think?
Well, if it was 1993, absolutely. The Crows and Bombers, one of the great preliminary finals of all time, that one. But, look, I am going to take the expansion. I know I mentioned Lachie Neale 2+ earlier, but I want to get this multi done. I don't want to wait till Sunday. I want if we're doing a three-legger, let's get it done by Saturday, shall we, boys? Or have you got one for the Sunday?
I've got 4:40 Sunday.
You got 4:40?
Yeah, we're going to have to wait.
Well, I want to know, what I want to do then is to feel that on 4:40 Sunday we're still within a fighting chance.
Yeah, give ourselves some hope.
Give us like a good few hours of hope.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to look to Saturday afternoon, the Expansion Cup, GWS versus Gold Coast. Now, one should never ever back the Gold Coast Suns away. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to back GWS 1-39. The Giants, they're starting to look pretty good. They were, I thought for an 18th team on the ladder that my Tigers had a good crack against them, but I think the Giants are just humming along nicely. They should make the 8. They got those early season wins that sort of gave them that insurance. And they're back at home at, what's it called? NG Stadium?
Wouldn't have a clue. Western Sydney.
Western Sydney, the stadium behind the Olympic Stadium.
Giants Stadium.
Yeah,
I don't know.
1-39 Giants, Saturday Arvo, Expansion Cup.
There we go.
And as I said, 4:40 Friday, Sunday night. I'm going to take Carlton, North Melbourne. I'm going to take
North.
Charlie.
You're going north, are you?
No, they're banned. You got them up last time. But
Kanga.
I'm going Charlie Curnow to kick 4+. So he had 10 shots on the weekend, only returned 3. But I think he will have a day out against North Melbourne.
235 for that, like.
Yeah. Bit of value. Get us over the line.
What did he kick? 3 last week, 49 on Coleman. So
3-7 as well last week.
yeah, 3. Yeah, that's,
He's very short in the Coleman market.
Yeah, well, unless Ben King has a big day out on
He might kick 10. There you go.
Charlie to kick 10.
He might kick 10.
Heard it here first.
Don't put that in a multi.
I was just going to have a quick look. Can you go? It doesn't quite go up.
I think you
to
go 6+.
Yeah.
775. Ooh.
You're going to put that in the multi, are you?
I'll go with 4+.
Go 4+.
Uncle Ned mightn't like it if you went 10+, mate.
So, recap.
Let's recap. I've gone the Bombers minus 10.5 against Crows on Friday night. Dill, you've got GWS 1-39 against the Suns, and Rocky has gone Curnow 4+ against North Melbourne, $9.37. Where can we find that, Dill?
You'll find that in the Neds app in the AFL section, and I think we even chuck it in open groups as well.
We do, yeah. Heaps of winners to be found.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website